We have been tasked to discuss creating a platform for business success in challenging times. So I immediately turned to that fountain of wisdom, Louise Bennett. She says, and this is written long ago, "When trouble take man, picnic boot fit him, and that is true. For what day me prove it with cousin Bella, auntie Pickney Sue. She come a yard pan a crying. Say she lose her job as nurse. She no got nowhere for sleep and only 4 bit in her purse. Me take her in, buy some food kind, and load 1 basket well, and carry her a street with me next day for learn her how to sell. Me start to call out, I keep here right planting gungo peas. Hear the girl back at me. Me too. Me too. Me too. Wait little. Then call again. Green, green, gungo, me have seasoning and coconut oil. Hear the girl back at me. Me too. The first time I did feel for laugh. But now my temper flame. I say, girl, shut up your me too and call out the food them name. You think you're too high for call out? And another thing too. Tick your people go here, you say, me too, and think me da sell you. Same time she start to cry. Me say, girl, this stop shed your tears. If I didn't know it so you soft, I would have sell you for right peer. Massa, she start cry wasser. Me just get bex and ball. Girl, turn back, go home, yeah? Don't follow me at all. She turned back, and me go on my ways. Business wasn't so bad. When me catch home, she was singing loud and really looking glad. Me stand up speechless. For the girl basket stone empty. Me open my mouth when I see her thread bag full up of money. Hear her to me, no? I call out, ma. Do I don't like higgling. Before me tumble down, me whole maca. So I sell off everything. Louise Bennett. Now, as I said, we have been tasked to discuss creating a platform for business success in challenging times. In other words, like Sue, who lost her job as a nurse, how do you quickly rebrand, transition, transform your business model as necessary? How do we move from me too, to putting in place and acting on a strategy for success, even if it means holding on to maca, that is taking the tough and painful decisions to avoid failure? Keynote addresses are oftentimes delivered from a macro level, providing a panoramic view of the big picture. But I suggest that the picture is one we can all paint blindfolded. My understanding is that we are not here at this forum to wax lyrical or to be quixotic, as Lee Kuan Yew suggested re former Prime Minister Michael Manley. Embedded as I currently am in the equally tough and challenging social, political, and economic environment of Zimbabwe, while we might be guided by the picture, we must focus on how the picture gets created, focus on the design, what paint we'll use, and how we will apply the paint to bring the picture to life. Thus, let me set aside the expectations by giving a warning, such that you'll find on a cigarette box. There will be no groundbreaking, earth-shattering, and revolutionary ideas here. What hopefully will be transformative will be the ability to operationalize on the fundamentals, the basic rules. In Sue's world, calling out the food names. To actually practice what we know. To move from words to actions. The ability to implement, to execute well, that is our biggest challenge at all levels. By any measures, the global economic situation is very challenging, and there is continued uncertainty in the global economy. The traditional economies of Europe are struggling, and some like Spain and Greece are on life support. The US economy is trying to work itself out of the recession. The growth rates in economies like China and India are slowing. However, we cannot and must not wallow or become immobilized by the current situation and use these harsh realities to defend or to justify our circumstances. For in fact, this situation is not new and will continue to reoccur at different intervals and in different places. Sue realized after bawling and feeling sorry for herself that she had to find a way to survive. She had to hold on to maca to avoid failing. What Sue did is what many countries are doing. In spite of or as a result of the global economic realities, a country such as Singapore has been busy re-engineering itself from being just a major manufacturing site to also being a major service provider. Indonesia and the Philippines, which had lagged far behind and was not part of the Asian tigers, are working on donning their stripes, sharpening their claws to force their way into the select grouping by implementing certain policies, upgrading their infrastructure, at all times with a clear vision of where they want to go and what they need to do to get there, and more importantly, doing what they need to do. And remember, like Sue, they didn't have to start from scratch, but pull on the experiences of their neighbors, such as Malaysia. We're also seeing the same important strides Brazil is making. Many countries across Africa have had very good and consistent growth rates over the past decade, at the same time as the growth rates in many of the developed economies have slowed considerably, and during the same period of international economic turmoil. For some, Africa is seen as the next frontier, the next global economic powerhouse. What for me is particularly interesting about these growth rates in these economies is that growth is not totally fueled by foreign direct investment from the so-called developed world. Foreign direct investment by other developing countries into Africa far exceeds foreign direct investment from the developed countries. In addition, intra-Africa investment is also significantly high and growing, with South Africa in particular leading in this area. This points to the need not necessarily to abandon traditional markets and sources of funding, but it points to the critical importance of diversifying and building new relations. retooling and upgrading what in the 70s we called the South-South dialogue, with a focus on building and strengthening the economic relationships. There is a massive amount of wealth and opportunities that no longer reside solely in the developed economies. There is wealth and opportunities in such countries as South Africa, Angola, Ethiopia, Equatorial Guinea, Nigeria, Brazil, China, and India, and in our region, that we must actively try to exploit